Nah, oke ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Misbaudin. I'm from Pancasakti University from Kampus A. Ya, I mean Kampus E. Ya. I am going to explain to you about the difference between EGP and ESP. Ya, English. First thing first, I apologize to Miss Yanti for the very late submission. Should have been a few days ago. Yeah. Okay, let's get to it. Okay. So what is EGP and ESP? Yeah. So EGP stands for English for General Purpose. Yeah. So it is English is being used by everybody because it is general. Yeah. And then there is ESP. ESP is English for specific purpose. Yeah. So it is English that is being taught, being learned for a specific application. Yeah. For example, for educational, whether it is medical, and then there is translator. Yeah. It is different. Yeah. So EGP. Yeah. We start with EGP. What is EGP? EGP provides basic knowledge and skills of English language at a school level. Yeah, so not in school but at a school level. So you don't have to learn English in school. You can learn English from online. You can learn English from the course. You can learn English from your relatives. Yeah, maybe your father, your mother, maybe your brother, sister, maybe your nephew. Yeah, your cousins. Maybe your uncle, aunt, yeah, maybe they know English and then they teach you how to speak in English. Yeah, that is not at school, but usually it starts with school level. So what is the meaning with school level? It is basic English. Yeah. School level, where the occupational or professional and higher educational orientations of the students are not defined properly. Yeah. So by the meaning of this is, we can say EGP is just touching the surface. It is not intended to advance learners into a direct application in the field. Yeah. So for example, we learn English in school. Yeah. I myself am teaching in junior high school, and what is being taught to the student is not English for specific purpose, but it is English for general purpose. So I'm teaching the students about the grammar and the verbs and how to use them, how to pronounce, how to react to saying, how to say and reacting again. Yeah, so that is what what I was teaching is English for general purpose. Yeah, it is just basic English, basic English for everybody. Yeah, it is not specific. Yeah, especially we teach this especially for the students that are not born with English as their mother tongue. Yeah, where English is not the first language. Yeah, for example, here in Indonesia, we speak not bahasa, but firstly our local language. Yeah, usually we speak. If people is from Java, they usually speak Javanese, and from Bandung and Tasik, they speak Sundanese, and then from Jakarta, they speak Batavians. Yeah, Batawi. Yeah. So that's our local, our first language is our local language, and then bahasa Indonesia, yeah, and then English. So English is not actually our second, rather it is our third language. So we firstly we have to learn how does it work, yeah, what is grammar, how to use grammar, how to say this, how to say that. Yeah, that is general. Yeah, and then there is another kind of English that is being taught, that is English for specific purpose. Yeah, it specifies the materials or what exactly the learners are facing in the field. Yeah, exactly what the learners are facing in the field. So for example, if you are educational, then it is going to the English is going that is being taught to you is going to be the English about education, not about medical, yeah, not about pharmacy, yeah, not about farming, not about translating, yeah. It is about educating other people. The English that you learn are going to be about educating other people, yeah, because there is an educational English. There is a very specific purpose for that English, yeah. Yeah. The main goal of introducing ESP in various non-native or international settings is to equip the learners with necessary English language skills to face their practical situation, communication challenges in the future careers. Yeah, so the challenges is different. Yeah, different. Yeah, the challenges in the medical field. And then the challenges in educational field, and then the challenges in the translating field, yeah, it is different, yeah. So for example, if we are learning about English in school, then it will not be as hard as if we are learn English for translation purposes, yeah, especially interpreter, yeah, because interpreter directly, yeah. When, for example, unfortunately, our president couldn't speak in English, yeah, he speaks in Bahasa, yeah. Then he needs an interpreter who's going to interpret his Bahasa Indonesia, his words, saying into English, yeah, for the foreign people who are not, who does not speak Bahasa, yeah. So the interpreter has to be very quick, yeah, very quick. Not only very quick, but also have to find the right word, yeah. There are some word, there are the meaning is the same, but the level is different, yeah. You can have a very rude word, and then you can also have very very polite word, yeah. So the translator has a demand, yeah, demand to quickly think, to quickly translate, yeah, with the right word, yeah, yeah, not by a rude word, okay, yeah. And then there is for educational purposes, yeah, the ESP for education purposes is different with the ESP for the translating purposes, yeah. For educational, you are thought more about teaching the student, yeah, maybe how to pronounce, yeah, you learn about phonetic, how to pronounce, how to teach these students to pronounce, okay. And I think that is enough, yeah. So in summary, EGP is English general purpose. It is English for everyone, English for everybody. It is basic English that is used by everyone. And there is ESP. ESP is English for specific purpose, and it is learned or taught specific for a specified field. Yeah, for example, in educational, maybe medical, maybe translation. Okay, I think that is enough. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.